Jagex has recently released a survey to gather player feedback, mainly about potential changes to membership features in old-school RuneScape. The survey, which has sparked a massive reaction on Reddit, includes controversial topics, like the idea of in-game ads and tiered membership systems, to gauge what players truly value. Jagex has clarified that this is not a set of planned changes, but a research tool, aimed at refining future ideas based on player input. Jagex assures that there are no plans to add ads to the base membership or make them a significant part of the game. However, they acknowledge player concerns and are reviewing feedback closely. They claim that while ads won't significantly impact the game, they're considering optional benefits that might come with lower-tier memberships. The possibility of ads being included as part of a cheaper membership is not entirely ruled out. Since the recent survey stirred up a lot of emotions within the community, players have been quick to voice their creative and often satirical takes on what Jagex might consider implementing. From exaggerated membership tiers to hilarious in-game ads, the OSRS community has come up with some wild concepts that might just make their way into the game. Or maybe not. Either way, it's a fun way to poke at some of the controversial ideas. One Reddit user posted this hilarious image featuring a player woodcutting when suddenly, out of nowhere, a Papa John's ad pops up as a random event. The NPC made to look like Papa John's owner John Schnatter says, "You look hungry to me. I tell you what, get a large 3-topping pizza for just $8.99. And to top it off, there's an option to click and open the Papa John's website directly in your browser." Honestly, it's brilliantly funny, and it perfectly captures the absurdity of having ads randomly interrupt your gameplay. Imagine chopping wood, and instead of a typical in-game event, you're getting distracted by pizza offers. It's just a perfect satire of what an ad-supported membership could look like, and honestly, I can't help but laugh. Another Reddit user came up with this genius image of a puzzle box, like the ones you get from Clue Scrolls, except this time, the puzzle features a mixed-up McDonald's logo. It's the perfect satire. Imagine having to solve a Clue scroll, and, instead of a traditional puzzle, you're piecing together the iconic McDonald's golden arches. It's such a funny and clever commentary on how corporate branding could sneak its way into the game if ads were ever introduced. Just the thought of players trying to figure out which part of the McDonald's logo belongs where, all while on a quest to find treasure, is comedy gold. One more hilarious Reddit post features the guy from the Fight Caves. You know, the one who warns you about Jad. Well, in this version, just as he's about to give his classic warning, he stops mid-sentence and says, "Watch out, here comes Jad." Oh right after a word from today's sponsor, Honey. The image humorously ties the Fight Caves tension with a blatant ad interruption, highlighting just how absurd it would be if something like that were ever added to the game. It's the perfect mix of absurdity and satire. Next up, we've got a hilarious one that features a hardcore Iron Man. After his death, the game asks, "Would you like to watch an ad for a second life?" Now, this is pure gold, considering the whole point of being a hardcore Iron Man is that you only get one life. It's a pretty funny thought, especially considering how it fits into the idea of Jagex potentially shilling out for this kind of ad-based respawn system. And of course, we can't forget the classic Raid Shadow Legends ad that often shows up on the login screen. I mean, it's already hilarious enough to see an advertisement for another game, but the real kicker is that it's a game completely unrelated to what you're playing. Can you imagine logging into old-school RuneScape, only to be greeted by a banner for a totally different game? It's the perfect example of how ads could start sneaking into the game, completely breaking the immersion for players while promoting something that's got absolutely nothing to do with your in-game experience. As a player with 99 Slayer, I couldn't help but laugh when I saw this next ad. It's Duradel, the master of Slayer, telling you that your next task is to watch 10 unskippable ads. Honestly, as hilarious as it is, I could totally see Jagex going down this road, with all the talk about potential ad integrations. And finally, we have a well-edited clip featuring two players in the heat of a tense battle while skull PKing. The clip hilariously showcases those super intrusive ads that bounce around the screen. Some even pop up from the corners, covering the world map, also some covering up the player's inventory while they are trying to heal up. And of course, there's the one ad that takes over the whole screen, completely blocking the player's view of their opponent mid-fight. This one's pure chaos, but honestly, it paints a pretty funny picture of what could happen if Jagex went full throttle with ads in high-stakes moments. And there you have it, folks. Some of the wildest, funniest, and most absurd ad scenarios we could imagine happening in old-school RuneScape. From Papa John's popping up mid-woodcutting to Duradel sending you on an ad-watching task, it's clear that ads in OSRS could get a bit out of hand if they ever went too far. But hey, we all love a little satire in the gaming community, right? Let me know in the comments which one made you laugh the most, or if you've ever seen an ad that was just too ridiculous in-game. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more OSRS content, memes, and discussions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully without any ads interrupting your boss fights.